What's up, everybody? It's Mark from 403 Fauna. On this week's episode, we'll get an update on the things that have been going on here in room 403. First of all, we'll get an update on the breeding season. I caught a couple of big ovulations this week and I'd like to share that with you. Secondly, we'll get an update on clutch number 1 of 2022. We'll explore the differences between vanilla and fire, and we'll also try to predict the het puzzles that are in the clutch. Thirdly, we will take a look at some of the snakes that have hit the wall this past winter and get an update on their progress. And lastly, we'll get a look at Tamuga, the Mojave het Monsoon, who just shed his skin and is looking fabulous. So I hope you could kick back and listen in to this week's episode. Before we get started, I wanted to announce that I will be on Adam at Proper Royals YouTube channel tomorrow, which is Tuesday, May 31st, at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific for his live. So if you get the chance, come check that out. I'll link it below. Be sure to give him a subscribe while you're there, or just watch the replay. I'll link that as well. So I finally got in my Sea Serpents hatchling rack, and it is 18 tubs total, right in time for the season. I'm really impressed with this rack. The quality and build, I'll give a full review on it once I get it up and running. But honestly, I'll probably need one more of these because the season is looking really good for me. In fact, let's take a look at a couple of ovulations right now. So super stoked for this. Apologies for the messy tub. Put that right there. It's a big ovulation from Patience the Anchi Clown. Now the question is, who got her pregnant? Is it Jor-El, the Mojave Krypton het Ultramel? Or is it Cornelius, the Pinstripe Desert Ghost? 66% possible het clown. Stay tuned, we'll find out together. Super stoked about this. Okay, this is just crazy because I had given up on this girl because the male, which is a leopard double het VPI Xanthic puzzle, he kind of just tapped out midway through the season. He had, I think, 3 locks with her. And take a look at this huge ovulation she got. So there's a chance that I'll be producing VPI Axanthic puzzles this year, and that's just insane to think about that. I am incredibly excited for this clutch. Now, she's not the biggest girl, on the 403 Fauna team, but hey, if I could get 3 or 4 good eggs out of her, I have a shot. Mainly I'm looking for some puzzles, but man, the possibilities are just super exciting. I cannot wait for this one. So here goes the mother of clutch number 1 of 2022. She is a vanilla cream. Vanilla cream is a mixture of the fire and vanilla gene. The fire gene in particular is the ember gene. They're pretty much just fires. And she is also het hypo. So all of her babies will either be vanilla or fire. And we'll take a look at the babies here and try to figure out which one is the vanilla, which one's the fire. She was bred by a leopard double het VPI Xanthic puzzle. So let's also take a close look at the pattern of the babies and see if we could predict which ones are puzzles. So once again, we have Tigra here, vanilla cream, 100% het hypo. So let's take a look at these 2 snakes we have here. So on the left, we have Tourmaline, and on the right, we have Bonnie. And as you can see, there is a color difference between the 2. So there's a big question on how to identify the vanilla morph and the fire morph. So the mother was vanilla cream, which is a combination of both vanilla and fire. And the babies usually are pretty hard to tell which one is vanilla and which one is fire. But as we can see with this, there is a vast color difference between the 2. We have Bonnie, who is brighter, Tourmaline, who's a little bit duller. Now let's take a look at their head stamps, because head stamps are a big thing. So Tourmaline here, you can see she has a pretty clear head, and Bonnie has a very significant head stamp. Now vanillas, they have a very distinct head stamp. So I'm gonna just say here that Tourmaline here is the fire, Bonnie is the vanilla. Now, having them outdoors like this, you could really notice the difference between the two. So that's my prediction. I'll share with you the other two when I get back home. Here goes Harmony. Harmony is also from clutch number 1 of 2022. Now, with how bright she is, I'm going to predict that she is vanilla. Look at that head stamp she's got going on. So question is it het puzzle? Now, puzzles supposedly have an effect on the pattern. And another thing mentioned was their necks. The patterns along the neck stretch out, and it's not as extremely stretched out as the video. I was just watching Ballistic Python's video on it, showing the stretched out neck. So yeah, I don't know. It's 50% possible het puzzle. It's got this pretty cool stripe going down its back. I noticed with the het puzzles, the pattern has a tendency to blend over the top, kind of like how we got here. But you know, that's common with other normal ball pythons. So I have no idea whether this is het puzzle or not, but I will say or predict that it is vanilla. So that right here is Harmony. Vanilla, 50% possible triple het, VPI, axanthic, puzzle, hypo. So again, who knows how much the het influence affects the color, but that's all I got to go on with this one. Let's take a look at the last one. Okay, so unfortunately for video purposes, Monday here is in blue, but I can say that he or she is just not as bright as either Harmony or Bonnie, and is more colored like Tourmaline. So I'm gonna predict that she is a fire/ember. Now let's see if we could predict whether it's puzzle. So the neck stripes are not stretched out with her. Her pattern is not particularly wacky. So if I was to want to sell some of these babies off, she'd be one that would go, but I'm going to keep her anyway. Actually, look at that piece right there. That looks kind of crazy. But we could never know until you breed them out. Now, hopefully, Dr. Hannah Seidel will work on the puzzle gene. In fact, I'll send her a bunch of sheds from the parents, or at least the father, to hopefully get the ball rolling on mapping out the puzzle sequence in their DNA. So this is Monday here, female, fire ember, 50% possible triple het, VPI, axanthic, puzzle, hypo. Okay, so let's get an update on a couple of the snakes that went through a pretty long wall over the winter. And when I mean wall, it means that they did not eat. This right here is Wanda, the Mystic Clown. And she went to an extensive wall. If you recall, I did a video on the 1,000-gram wall, and she was looking really thin in that video. But she broke through with a little tiny rat pup. And ever since she had that rat pup, she has figured out that food is good, and she's back to slamming frozen thawed rats and getting ready for the upcoming breeding season for 2023. So Wanda the Mystic Clown, I am looking forward to getting some genetic stripe into her this coming season. I'm glad she's out of that wall. Another girl back on food is Noe the Piebald. Now she took a long break from eating over the winter as well, but now she's slamming the food. Now this girl does not take frozen thawed, she's a live eater. If you recall a video I did way back when on using vanilla extract to get this girl to eat, and eventually she did. She converted from mice to rats. So yeah, I'm hoping this girl will make the season as well, because she has a date with Tamuga, the Mojave het Monsoon. I want to get Monsoon into the Pied project, similar to what Mutation Creation is doing in King Austin, because I think that's a great project to do. And you know, honestly, I did not know where to go with Piebald, and now that I do have het Monsoon, I think the Piebald Monsoon project is pretty cool. So I'll go that route. So I'm glad she's back on food, getting her ready for the upcoming season as well. Now here is Tumuga. Tumuga is the Mojave Het Monsoon. He just shed his skin this morning and is looking absolutely stunning. I love the blushing coming up and the wackiness of the pattern, which is indicative of that Het Monsoon. Let's see if we get a look at his head. Where's your head at, buddy? Here we go. So I know with Justin on his video, he was talking about the eye stripes and how they're really low. So looking at it top down here, we can see how low those eye stripes are. Pretty cool marker for Het Monsoon that he shared with us. And I am just absolutely in love with this guy. And the possibilities are endless for him. So, you know, I'm taking the long route here, and we're looking 3, 4, 5 years down the line before I hopefully eventually produce a Monsoon. But you never know, I might pick up a Het female next year to lower that time. But who knows, when I finally do produce that Monsoon, the prices will probably be within my range. Who knows, $2,000 to $3,000. But I will also have him in double hets and in codoms. So I'll have a head start by buying into a project early. You get that advantage. So I'm really excited at the possibilities with this guy. And yeah, thanks for sharing that journey with me, even though it's just starting. Really cool. So that is Tumuga Mojave Het Monsoon from Dave Green Reptiles, the originator of the morph. Thank you for joining me on this week's episode. Be sure to check the link below for my live with Adam at Proper Royals. Have a great week, everybody. Take care and be safe.